I don't know if you folks know this, but I like gorillas. I've always been a fan of monkeys and apes ever since I was a kid, and gorillas in particular were always my favorite. I'm not sure what it is about them, their strength, their size, their relation to human beings.
Just walk like a man, arriba, and let's go walk like a man. Very good, boy. Let's go walk like a man.
But I like them. So, when I discovered the game Ape Out, I was excited to play a game with a gorilla main character. Surely this game will join the likes of such great ape games like Donkey Kong Country and Donkey Kong Country 2 and Donkey Kong Country 3 and Donkey Kong 64. Ape Out is a 2019 game developed by Gabe Gazillo and published by Devolver Digital for PC and Nintendo Switch. You take control of a nameless gorilla that must fight his way out of whatever confinement he finds himself in. Similar to Hotline Miami, another game published by Devolver Digital, Ape Out is from a bird's eye perspective, with the player, enemies, and obstacles being viewed from above. However, unlike Hotline Miami, Ape Out doesn't have many controls. The right trigger pushes or throws, the left trigger grabs, and the analog stick moves the ape around. But here's the interesting thing. While these controls are simple, there's so much you can do with them. Push is going to be your primary means of attack, which can push enemies into walls, splattering them, push them into each other or into hazards, throwing bombs, pushing steel doors open, which kills everybody in the way of the door opening, and much more. Grabbing is useful for protecting yourself by using an enemy as a human shield, but you can also use the enemy as a weapon. See, all enemies carry a different weapon, and whenever you grab them, they fire that weapon. Thus, you can use the enemy's panic firing to take out other enemies. And the different weapons have different properties. The rifle is good at taking out single enemies, the shotgun is good at taking out big groups, the machine gun is good at clearing out wide areas, and on and on. Additionally, weapon types and areas change as the game progresses. You might be fighting enemies that have rifles down a narrow hallway, or you might be fighting 2 shotgunners, 3 flamethrowers, and an enemy with a rocket launcher in a wide open space. So you're going to die if you don't use your environment to your advantage. Speaking of death, this game has no HUD, no health bars or anything. Instead of that, your health is represented by the blood you trail on the floor. If you're full health, there will be no blood. If you've been shot once, there will be a small trickle. If you've been shot twice, you'll start leaving huge splotches, and if you're shot more than that, you're dead. There are, of course, things that can kill you in one shot, such as explosions, but most of the time this is how your health is indicated. Additionally, the color of your blood, the ape, and enemies can change depending on the conditions in the level, which could be really bright or in shadow. Speaking of shadows, that brings us to the sponsor of this video. The sponsor of this video is Raid Shadow.
Is that a camera? Okay. Listen to me. The people who made Raid Shadow Legends, they broke into my house. They drank all my Pepsi. They called me a loser. They burnt all my crops. And they kidnapped my family. And now I'm stuck in this dark dungeon with no prospect of a future. I have no idea what to do. I have nowhere to go. This is no way to live. Send help.
Let's talk about the levels. Ape Out has 4 main levels, or should I say discs, that are divided into 8 sections. There's a brief intermission between each 4 sections, for you to catch your breath, get coffee or whatever, and then finish the next 4. Each disc is set in a specific locale, with the first being in a lab, the second taking place in a skyscraper, the third in a military base, and the fourth on a ship at sea. After you've beaten all 4 discs, there is a harder section where you can play the same discs over again, but the enemies are harder and in larger masses, and a new disc called Break In, which is as long as an entire disc, but in one sitting, as well as an arcade mode where you can complete certain sections of the disc within a certain time frame, giving the game a lot of replayability. This game has roguelike elements, with each section being randomly generated, with a few areas staying the same, and if you die, you have to start all the way back at the beginning of that section. Both of these keep the game fresh and on your toes, because you don't know what enemy type may be around the corner every time. In addition to this, the music, lovingly put together by Matt Bach, is adaptive jazz. If you move faster, the tempo increases. As things slow down, the music starts to become calmer, and every enemy kill is accentuated by a cymbal hit. It all works to make your actions have great impact. It achieves that good game feel. This combined with very minimalistic but stylish art, which some was made by Bennett Foddy, yes, the Quap guy, make for a truly unique experience. Overall, I thoroughly enjoyed Ape Out. The later discs are challenging, but they never seem unfair. I love the music, and I love the art. The premise already connects to my deep interests. If you love games like Hotline Miami, but also are looking for some sort of rogue-like game, I'd highly recommend it. So if you feel the need to bust some heads, break some barrels, or push people off of buildings, you just need to keep calm, grab your controller, and ape out.